You got to look at Geno Smith the way he's starting off for the Seattle Seahawks. You think that he's the next, is it Russell Wilson 2.0 over there?
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Tierney. This is Week 8 of Put Your Money Where Your Mouth is, brought to you by BetMGM. Pretty simple deal. Each week, two of the internet's best sports bettors compete against each other to make you a little extra scratch. We'll find the best bets for Week 8. I'll decide who earns the cash, and at the end of the show, throw down one big bet for Sunday's Bills-Packers game. Last week, Chelsea and John both won their bet, so no punishment for them. Now, let's meet our competitors, Philly 500 and Law Nation Sports. First up, we got Law. Law, what's happening, buddy? Welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
All is well so far, man. My team is in third place, but we looking promising. We 5-2 right now. Go Cowboys.
Every year here come the Cowboys. Here come the Cowboys. Here come.
This
Hey, we
is
got
the
Philly.
year.
This is the year, right? We got Philly in the house. What's going on there, Phil?
What's up, man? How you doing? I'm feeling great because I'm 6-0 and I'm on top of the hill. And one of those reasons that Dallas has 2 losses, thank you very much, is because of us. So I feel really good, really good.
You should. Those colors look good. Rocking them proudly. I like it. All right,
Yeah.
so Law, we always play for something. What's at stake here? What are you guys battling for?
Well, we battling to see if Philly can have on that beautiful silver and blue on over there. That would make him look better. It would make you look really good with some silver and blue. What about that? Merch wear. We battling for merch. Maybe
Little
a
merch
Cowboys
swap.
hat.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. He's going to look good with an Eagles hat on. I'll tell you that right now. They're going to think it's James Harden. Look, James Harden sits there with some Eagles stuff. What do you do?
Which James Harden, though? Chubby James Harden, skinny James Harden,
No,
James Harden in
skinny
Houston?
James Harden.
I hear you.
Skinny
I
James.
got you. All right, guys, we call this QUICKFIRE. So right now, according to BetMGM, both the Cowboys and the Eagles big-time favorites to win on Sunday. Now, Dallas versus the Bears, Eagles against the Steelers. For $30, we'll start with that. Tell me who the bigger favorite is, and for an extra 10, what the exact line is. Philly, you're up first, pal.
The Eagles are the bigger favorites. They gotta be. They're 6-0 right now. They're playing at home. They're playing Pittsburgh, who hasn't beat the Eagles since like the 1950s at home. With young rookie quarterback, I think this is a prime, perfect spot for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're 10.5-point favorites, and I like it.
Okay, Law, which way are you going here? What's the answer?
Well, I think the Cowboys are a bigger favor. You look at the aspect of, yes, the Chicago Bears won big on against the Patriots last week. You look at how the emotions runs for them, and it's a short week for them as well. And the Cowboys need another get-right game, and the guy that you put your money on will be Dak Prescott in this game.
It's close. It's close. Philly, though, you got this. By the way, Philly also has the bonus because he nailed it. The bigger spread, Eagles laying 10.5. Dallas is 9.5. But, so you got the team and you got the exact number. $30 on the board. Philly jumping out of the chute. All right, Philly, I'm going to ask you about this. Name the head coach of the Eagles. Simple question, right? You would think. But it's got to be from a certain year, and Law gets to pick the year. You've got 10 seconds to answer it. Law, give us a year. Philly, you give us the coach.
96.
Okay. Philly, who?
90s?
Yep, head coach of the Eagles back in 96.
Ray Rhodes.
I believe that is correct. Ray Rhodes, a little confirmation. Thumbs up. Boom. Nicely done. 96, it was Ray Rhodes. Okay. So we got some points coming your way. Nicely done. Now, Law, I'm going to ask you to name 8 players on an NFL team. This one's for $50. The catch is Philly gets to identify the team. So, Philly, pick something obscure, pick a tough one, and then, Law, you got to knock out the 8 players. What's the team?
Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Seattle Seahawks. Okay, let's start the timer, and let's start hearing some names. Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf.
There you go, 4.
Artie
He's
Burns,
banged up.
Penny Hard, Sidney Jones.
3, 2, 1.
Did I say Tyler Lockett?
You said Lockett. You come up and in short. Just missed it. All right, 50 points. That goes to Philly. So I got to tell you, Law, seemed like a really nice guy, but you started the show talking a lot of smack about how your Cowboys going to do this and do that. You haven't done much on the show. Philly smacking you around, man. Let's go.
I know. Let them win this war. Let them win this battle. The war is far from over.
All right, we call this Did They Know? This should be fun. Always interesting. Oh, he's a little unpredictable as well. So we went to a Commanders tailgate, guys, this past Sunday. Asked some Commander fans some trivia. Now, for $40, we're going to ask you if you actually think that they got the trivia question right. First up, we've got Chuck. Let's meet Chuck.
My name's Chuck Fanselaw. I'm from Manassas, Virginia, about an hour from here. I've been a Commanders fan pretty much all my life. I was at the Super Bowl parade in 1983, 87, the rally on the mall in 91 after we won Super Bowls. So I've been a season ticket holder for 26 years now.
All right, there's no doubt this guy's locked in, at least the optics that he gives us. I'm rolling with Chuck. I think whatever we ask him, I think he's going to know. Here is the question, all right? What former Commander player was most recently inducted into the Hall of Fame? Philly, do you think he knows? Season tickets for 26 years, Philly. You think he knows?
I'm going to say no, he does not know.
Philly, no love from Philly. No love, Philly. All right, Law, how about you?
This is my chance to get some points up there, man.
This
dude said for over 20 years he's been a season ticket holder. I'm quite sure that he can tap into his ancestry, and he should know, right? Let's go.
He should know that. I'm with you, man.
Yes,
Listen, Law, I would roll with you as well. Let's see if my man Chuck knows his history.
I don't follow the Hall of Fame that much.
Champ Bailey, he played with them for like
Champ
a hot
got
minute.
in?
Yeah.
No, I got 4 Champ Bailey jerseys.
Wait a second. Timeout. 20-second timeout on the floor here. I'm officially perplexed. The guy's had season tickets for almost 30 years. He was at the Super Bowl parade. He's got 4 Champ Bailey jerseys. Doesn't know Champ Bailey's in the Hall of Fame. What the hell's going on with this guy?
Come on, man.
Wow.
Get over here.
All right, Philly. I'll tell you, Philly, you lucked into that. We'll give you 40 points on that. If I had this right, 120-0, that. Hey, Law, no disrespect. You're getting absolutely trounced here. I mean, you're getting shut out. It's 120-0. You can't, I mean, we're going to start playing taps for you pretty soon here, buddy. Here you go. Yeah. And not Timmy Trumpet like the Mets played at the end of the year. All right, next up, let's meet Juan. Come on in, Juan. What do you got?
My name is Juan, but the fan base calls me DC Sports Guy.
All right. I don't know what we're getting with this guy. I don't really have a real read. I don't know. He's a man of few words, very economical. We asked Juan to name 7 players on the Commanders. Now, the catch here, the caveat, he's got to do it in the time that it takes for his friend to knock back a beer. Philly, do you think he can do it? Okay.
I think he does, yes.
All right.
He says
anything with
the DC Sports Guy's his name. That's what they call him, right? I'm
Yes.
going to say he knows it.
All right. Yeah. So Philly's got a little faith. Law, how about yourself?
Are you willing to double it?
I mean, you got to start making up some ground here, buddy. You got to go the opposite, I would think, right?
All right. I think he failed.
You think he fails? All right. So Philly's saying yeah. Law saying no. Can he chug it? Let's get the tape. Go ahead.
Cameron Curl, Chase Young, Chase Roulier, Charles Leno, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne.
Oh, those six 40 minutes.
I mean, listen, the guy's running, his crew is too big. Of course, I mean, it's like a little thimble in that guy's hand. Of course, he's going to bang that beer back. All right. So, Law, you got 40 there. You cut the lead. Philly up 120. Law finally on the board with a 40 spot. Nicely done, guys. All right, guys, this one is called Best Pickup Line. Pretty simple stuff. 3 games I find appealing. I'm going to throw the game at you. You give me something within the game that you like, a lock, whatever it might be, a specific play, side, could be total, could be a player prop, whichever one I deem better, $50 your way. The updated scoreboard, by the way, Phillies at 120, and Law, you're at 40. You guys ready to go?
Ready?
Bro.
All right, Law's got a little work to do, so you're up first here, buddy. Niners at the Rams. We got the Niners minus 1.5, by the way. The over-under is 43. Go ahead, Law. Take us something, give us something interesting from this game.
Well, you got to understand that this is a coach's matchup. These two guys know each other, but on this battle end of it, the Kyle Shanahan been winning. He's 7-1 against Sean McVay, and the only time that they lost was in the playoffs. So I would truly look at this game as the San Francisco 49ers will pull it out, and they will cover the spread. So if you want to put money down on the line, go with the 7-1 San Francisco 49ers to be victorious in this game.
Interesting. They're not 7-1 this year. They're actually, what are they, a game below 500 at this point? But though it's game 2 for C-Mac, maybe he gets on track a bit more. All right, Phil, he likes the Niners here. What about you?
I also like the Niners. I think the pass rush of the San Francisco 49ers going up against Stafford, who's been beaten up a lot this year, I think is going to be big for San Francisco. And like you said, another week of Christian McCaffrey out there. I think he's going to make a bigger impact this week. So I'm going with the 49ers.
All right, you know what? Both of you guys are sharing the same brain cell, and I tend to agree. I don't know if I would even really touch this because I don't really know what you get in week to week with either team. Both teams have deficiencies. Both teams have assets. Just not enough for me to really get too far behind in terms of real backing. But, I'm in a generous mood. I'm going to give each a 50 pop. So, Philly, you're up to $170. Laura, you are at 90 right now. Here we go. This should be fun. The Vikings may be the most disrespected 5-1 team in the NFL. Nobody talks about the Vikings, but they're 5-1. They're -3.5. They're home against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals take them or leave them. Head coach, quarterback, who knows what you get with them. Over-under is 49. Philly, first up, something from this game. Go ahead. What do you have?
DeAndre Hopkins is back, and that's going to help the Cardinals a lot. But I think you're right. I think the Minnesota Vikings are very underrated. The only loss that they had was to the Philadelphia Eagles, who's undefeated. So I think the Vikings at home, I like them in this game.
All right, so you're rolling with the Vikes here. Law, do you contest that?
Yes, you got to throw out records. You got to throw out what they did in the earlier parts of the season for the Cardinals out the window. And actually, if you go back and look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did to the Cardinals, it wasn't like they walked over them. So I look at this particular game with DeAndre Hopkins as this is be an opening for Kyler Murray to get back to those good graces of what he was doing last year before DeAndre Hopkins got injured. Think about this. I talk about peaking too soon. Last year around this time, the Cardinals were 7-0, kind of like the Eagles, 6-0. So, but this was with Kyler Murray with DeAndre Hopkins. I think that DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray are meant to be together, and this team, the Cardinals, will put up a lot of points, and it will be too much for Kirk Cousins to keep up.
Yeah, okay. So you got the Cardinals straight up on the money line. Forget about the 3.5 points that you're taking. You're going money line. You know what? I'm giving you 50 just for guts. I might do a little leverage and take the 3.5 just in case. I might even touch the over. I like the over. I think that's appealing at 49. But the fact that you come with that kind of conviction on the road, straight up win, money line, will give you some points, 50 spot. So that moves you now to within shouting distance. If my math is right, it's 170 to 140. Okay, 171. This will determine things, boys. Let's go. The Giants. Let's go. Big Blue. Somehow 6-1. Dable, easily coach of the year right now. Daniel Jones playing very well. They are +3. Geno Smith. The Geno Smith renaissance continues in Seattle. Law, what's going to go down? What do you got?
Oh, man, the G. All right, so both teams, you got to look at Geno Smith the way he's starting off for the Seattle Seahawks. You think that he's the next, is it Russell Wilson 2.0 over there? All of a sudden, he's playing better than Russell. He's playing better than most quarterbacks. 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Oh, also, if you look at Walker, he got 4 touchdowns running the ball. Saquon Barkley got 4 touchdowns running the ball. I have to lean on Seattle Seahawks at this point. I get it, G-Man. The Giants been figuring out ways to win, but not in this game. I'm going with Seattle Seahawks. I love what the Giants been doing. Remarkable with them, but I got to go with Geno Smith on his run with this team.
And by the way, and Philly, before I get your answer, I find it interesting. I talk a lot as a talk radio host about, what what is important to a young quarterback that gets drafted to a certain situation? Do they have coaching? Do they have an offensive line? Do they have the things that insulate them and protect them? And I think Geno Smith is a great illumination of that, because Geno Smith is the kind of guy, he got drafted by a dirt franchise, my franchise at that point, the Jets, who were, in the sewer, and he had no chance to succeed. And then he went and he watched Eli for a little bit, and then he went to Seattle with Pete Carroll. They coached him up a little bit, and all of a sudden, you've got a guy that looks like a professional. Coaching matters. All right, Philly, what do you think about this game, though? You going G-Men or the Seattle Seahawks?
I love Law Nation. He's betting with his heart. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan looking up at the New York Giants, right? I got the Giants breathing down my neck. I would love to see the Giants lose. I would as an Eagle fan. But I think this is the bet of the week. If the Giants are 3-point underdogs against Seattle, I think this is the bet. Take the Giants, take the points. Giants are going to win straight up.
Okay, it is time to render the verdict here. Now, let's incorporate this from the Giants side as well. Metcalf is obviously a huge miss for Seattle, but they've got other weapons. The Giants, outside of Saquon and Daniel Jones, who ran for over 100 yards last week in a win, I think they're going to miss their tight end, Bellinger, who's a young kid who's played very well. He had that eye injury the other day. So, listen, I think that this thing might move to 3.5 points. I think you might get some late money on Seattle. People still not buying the Giants, tough venue, etc. I don't know if I love Seattle at 3.5. I do like Seattle at 3. I think the Giants lose maybe at the gun, like really late. I'm going to go with Seattle, which means I'm going to go with Law, all right, who gets the $50 and jumps in front of Philly, if my math is right, which is always roll the dice. 190 to 170. Law's in front of my right. Law by 20. Law's in front. Wow.
Let's go.
All right.
That's all
All
right.
right.
That's all right.
All right, guys. Here we are, the home stretch inside the tight red zone. We called this one the big one, and it is a big one. Aaron Rodgers got to start winning some games here. It's getting a little late there for the Packers. Sunday night, the Bills, who look to be the best team in football right now, taking on Rodgers' Packers. And by the way, the loser is going to have to rep the other team's merch. And right now, it's Law up by 20, 190 to 170. Philly, you trail by 20, which means you will go first. Your one big bet for the game Sunday. Hit us up. What do you have?
I'm going Buffalo. I got Buffalo. I think they cover. I think Buffalo's going to beat them by at least two touchdowns and a field goal. I don't think Green Bay has anything right now, especially any answers. They need receiver help, and they're on the road in Buffalo Sunday night. I think Buffalo's going to take it.
You know, I was in Lambeau a couple of weeks ago for the Jets-Packers game, and I've seen them play on TV a few times, obviously. I agree. The Packers are relatively bereft of talent. I mean, they just can't score the ball, so I don't think that that's outlandish when you say that, Philly. Law, what about you? What do you say?
Oh, my goodness, man. I hate that we have to both agree. There's a lot of big alarming things to happen over there in Packers land. And now you got Josh Allen. It's a home game. It's a must-see TV moment. You know Josh Allen is going to sling it. The only weakness to the Bills is that they tend to can't run it. But when you got Stephon Diggs, shout out to Trayvon Diggs, but you got Stephon Diggs out there that's catching everything. This would be a game that you got to push everything to the middle of the table and say, the Bills, you know, it's hard to beat those Bills, and it's about to be a great game, and I can't wait for someone to finally knock Aaron Rodgers down. You know, I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I know how you guys.
I mean, listen,
it's just what it is. It's time for him to go, and it's time for Aaron Rodgers to pass the torch on to Josh Allen. Let's go.
I think it's already been passed. He's an all-time great. Yeah. Nobody's here to disrespect Rodgers, but the one thing that Rodgers doesn't do, at least for me enough, the thumb doesn't hit the chest. Like when things go awry with the Packers, it's always somebody else's fault. And I'm not saying that he's fully wrong. I know receivers are running the wrong route and there's some miscommunication, but you're the leader of the franchise. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, I've got to play better. Even if it's not true, even if it's on other guys, you take the heat for the other guys. So this should be a fun game, and I'm just trying to determine who's going to look worse than the other merch. I'm looking at Law, and I'm looking at him with an Eagles gear. I'm looking at Philly. I'm looking at with that star. I think both you guys would look weird, man. I got to be honest. So neither one would look good.
I won't look good. He might look good. Like I said, James Harden with Eagles gear. I can see that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, you may start to look better, you know.
All right, now, Philly, just to be clear here, if this goes down the way both you guys think it's going to go down, you can't win. So I don't know, just a little friendly advice, maybe working a parlay, bringing the over, the under. You want to go something else here or what?
Let's put it all in. Let's bring the over in. We'll parlay this whole thing. I'll take the over also. So I'll take Buffalo and the over, and I'll make sure that I secure my victory.
There you go. All right, boys. So the stakes have been identified. The terms have been outlined here. Any party shots, any final words? Law, you're up first, buddy.
Well, this is going to be just like the season. The Eagles started off with the lead, and then all of a sudden the Cowboys catch up. And now at the end of this, the Cowboys will surpass the Eagles and even Philly 500. I can't wait to see you in that silver and blue, baby. Yes, it's going to look good on you.
Yo, Philly, last time his team won, I had a full head of hair. I mean, this you keep these Cowboy fans, they just don't relent. All right, final shot out of you. What do you got?
But you know what December is, right? December isn't just Christmas season, it's Cowboys choke season. Year after year, when we get into December, they choke. Dallas ain't catching us. They're in third place. And, Law, you're going to look good in Eagles green. James Harden wearing Eagles green. Everybody's going to love it. You put that helmet away. We're going to bury it. Christmas Eve, Eagles will win that game too. Believe me.
That just about wraps it up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below with your locks for the week. And make sure you head to thegameday.com for the latest offers from BetMGM. Have an awesome week. And we'll catch you next week right here. Minimal sweats, of course, on the show.